Is the metaverse Landrush an illusion? My name is Mfon, Akpan, professor of accounting. And we're going to talk about the metaverse today, and we're going to focus on the metaverse from an accounting perspective. And I recently had a very interesting conversation with one of my colleagues, another accounting professor, and we were talking about metaverse worlds such as Decentraland and the Sandbox. And one accounting issue that we were discussing was something called going concern. So if you think about investing and buying land in these virtual worlds, what's the risk? The risk is the business doesn't exist anymore. It can go bankrupt. What happens to your virtual land, which is totally different than in the real world where land is land, it's there. It's not going away. So these are things you need to think about from an accounting perspective. And on top of that, another thing to think about, you've got millions of dollars going in to purchase these land assets. For example, there was a $2.4 million purchase of land in Decentraland. And you have to think about what is the value of this land. You can't interchange land from the Sandbox to Decentraland or in any of these other virtual metaverse platforms. You can't transfer them. And what happens if they decide to make more land? What happens to the value of your land? So does this mean this is an illusion? Well, I think it's not land as we think about it, or real estate or real property the way we think about it in the real world. It is an NFT, and you do have cryptocurrency, and I think that's something to put in perspective. And to think about that these are businesses, these are hosted somewhere, and if they go out of business, what's going to happen to your land? How will you get it? Who's going to host it? Because in essence, you're buying land or an NFT in a video game. This is something I want you to think about. I'm not discouraging you from buying virtual metaverse assets. I own Mana in Decentraland. I own NFTs in the Sandbox. So I'm not discouraging anyone from moving forward or speaking ill of those platforms. I'm a big fan of the platforms. However, I want you to think about the impact and how it ties in. And one thing to consider is the accounting implications. Again, I'm an accounting professor. And that's the focus, to think about it from a business perspective and how these things can impact you. And also to think about it's not really land like we think about land in the real world. Also, these are issues that can help those who are creating these platforms and actually making the platforms to think about and how they can grow and improve. So as always, want to hear your comments, want to hear what you think. And yes, I do not believe that Harry Styles is the next Elon Musk. Is everything possible? Yes, it's not probable as I see it right now. But let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching and subscribing.